Greetings. Wanted to give you guys an update on where we are with the RoboHand. Several months ago, actually at the beginning of the year, we started this project of developing and building a RoboHand that would be used to help David, a young boy in El Reno, have some use of his hand. He was born, one of his left hand was born without fingers. Anyway, we started the process. This is a 3D printed RoboHand, and as we got to this point right here, started to assemble this, we realized that this is just really going to be way too small for David's hand. So I can put this over. The problem is that I just get 3 fingers in here, and it really was not the right size. So we took this back, went back to the drawing board, and went back to work. So let me pull that one aside, and we'll pull out this version that we're getting very close to being finished on. This is actually the RoboHand, and I'm not really sure that it's actually the right size for David. It may be very too big, which would be fine, but this is what we consider a prototype, and we're learning a lot about the 3D printing process. So just to give you some idea, all of this material right here in black is all 3D printed. The fingers are all 3D printed, and the underside here, you can see the fingers themselves. These are the components. Now there's screws that hold it all together right here that you see. This is the thumb, and you'll see that there's some motion of the thumb. And then this black piece right here is actually the Velcro that's used to help contract the arm around or the sleeve around his arm. And everything else here is actually, so these pieces up here are 3D printed, and this piece up here is also 3D printed, and everything is bolted into place. And what we've done here is we've actually run some cords, string up through the fingers and all the way out to the tips of the fingers. And then there's also a piece of elastic bungee cord that you can see right here that actually goes up through the finger, comes across, and then comes back down and ties off right here. And that's just to give the fingers, force them to stick up flat. So when you pick the hand up itself, maybe I could show this, you can see the fingers are pretty much sticking up. Now, I do have some adjustments to make on this. You can see this guy right here is maybe a little bit loose, but for the most part the fingers stick up and they're ready to be used whenever the hand actually closes. The white part here that we see, this section right here, and then this whole section up here, which is what I refer to as the sleeve, that's actually made out of moldable plastic. Comes in these little beads, and you heat it up to almost boiling temperature in water. Just dump it into boiling water, and then that actually melts it, and then you can pull it out with some tongs, and you can mold it into whatever shape you need. So I'm going to try to look down inside here. It's a little difficult to see, but this is the inside of the hand part, and then this is the inside of the sleeve. You can see there's some screws in there. Some concerns that I have for David whenever he starts using this is we certainly don't want those screws rubbing up against his arm and causing him any problems. My intention is to put some what they call moleskin inside of the parts that will be rubbing up against his body, his arm and his hand, and keep that from being a problem. This hand isn't, while it looks like it's pretty much done, it actually has a few things that need to be fixed on it that I'm still working on. The first thing here is that you'll see that there's 2 pieces of plastic that go across here. The first one is shorter than the bottom one, the top one is shorter, and that needs to be actually reprinted into a longer version. So if you look at the other side over here, you can see this guy right here goes all the way across and makes it all the way to the end there, which is the way both sides are supposed to be. There was a small mistake on my part whenever I printed those, and I have to go back over to the Fab Lab and finish up the printing. But what we've done is we put smooth caps on the top of these guys and made sure that the screws are exactly the right length so that we can tighten those down as tightly as possible. Another couple of things that need to be done to finish this up is you'll see that these screws right here need to be cut off and made shorter so that they fit properly as well. This particular section of the hand was the last piece that I did, and these screw links are not just normal screw links because of the thickness of the walls inside the hand piece. So these will just get trimmed down, and then we'll cap them off so that there's not sharp edges that grab onto things and stuff. So there are a couple of other areas, like this particular hinge screw. We've got a lock nut on that because we have to have that pretty much be loose and not cause any problems. The same things happens on the fingers themselves as well. So we have lock nuts on these guys right here, and that keeps them from popping off. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can maybe show you how this works here. So the hand, I apologize for the angle here. The hand, when you look at it, you'll see that these cords right here across the back of the hand are actually pretty tight. So you look at them where it sits, the hand itself kind of sits up at an angle whenever it's in normal position, and really what's happening is this is just a purely mechanical process by which extending the hand, let's see if I can do this, extending the hand here, bending it down, actually bends the finger, or all of the fingers, and allows them to grasp items and grasp different things. So David will be able to just change the motion of his forehand and control different things. Basically have the ability to grasp things. So we've got some strings sticking out of the fingers up here. I'm going to let those hang out for now because those will give us a chance to make some fine adjustments whenever we deliver the RoboHand to David, which I'm hoping to do this weekend. Alright, that's it for now.